Hello viewers, as you well aware that I am Dr. Jetling Yellosa, running a YouTube channel called Law Speeches in English, Hindi and Telugu languages. It is a multi-language channel, and from time to time I am posting my lectures on various aspects of law and also the world affairs. So today we discuss the highest judicial system in the United States of America, that is the Supreme Court of America, which is established in 1789, located at Washington DC, comprising of 9 judges, in which one is the Chief Justice and remaining 8 are associate justices. The Supreme Court, since its establishment, has dealt number of important judgments. So we discuss the judgments later on, and we see the the mode of appointment of the judges and their impeachment. We can classify them into certain steps. The first step is that it is a purely executive appointment, where the President of United States of America makes his choice and he nominates such choices members and they will be appointed. So the vacancy positions arises by death, by retirement, by impeachment. But till today, there is a no instance of retirement. The impeachment was made with regard to judges are concerned. So judges are picked by the US president. So while picking, he has to see that he should be having sound legal knowledge. Our judges from the lower courts, appellate courts can be picked, and the academician like law professors can also be appointed as the judges of the Supreme Court of USA. So while picking, the president also has to review that what his or her capability in the judicial matters are concerned. His research capabilities, judgment delivery capabilities, all those things has to be considered by the President of the United States of America while appointing the Supreme Court judges. Just I told you, it is a lifelong appointment, because here the Constitution of USA provides that the separate sort of sanctity to the judicial system is concerned and independence of the judiciary is concerned. And same sort of situation also there in India, but there we have the collision system is this. The judges will appoint themselves, but here the system is quite differs that of the president appoints he picks up his own men as the judges. So after picking up the president, the nomination goes to the Senate Judiciary Committee, for which there is a Senate committee is there. The US Senate committee will investigate the background of the such appointee, and also the committee reviews the capability or the character or the research of such nominee, and it also conducts the public hearing. If any public having any sort of objection for such appointment, they can come to the Senate Judicial Committee and make an objection. So it is open to all. Then, so during the hearing, the committee, Senate Judicial Committee, will look after the nominee's constitutional capacity of interpretation of the Constitution, and also whether he is having the knowledge of civil rights, and what kind of character he is holding, and what kind of judicial philosophy he is having. All those things will be considered by the US Judicial Committee. Then, after that, the Senate confirms the appointment by the simple majority. There is no extraordinary majority is required, only simple majority is sufficient for appointment of the justices to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Then the matter, after that, the confirmation will goes to the President and to the Supreme Court, and they take the oath of office. Constitutional oath is there, as well as the judicial oath is there. They have to take two sorts of oaths, and they will then join as the judges to the Supreme Court of India. As I told you also that tuner is concerned, tuner is generally for the life term, and if the judge or justices feels that they can resign, if they die, then the automatically the post will be goes away. Then they also can retire from the justice services, and if they indulging into the indecent manner, then they can be impeached by the Congress of the United States of America. For that, a impeachment process will be there, and the impeachment procedure is introduced into the House of Representatives. It is is a popular house of the U.S. Congress, and there it will be put to vote. Then the Senate receives a confirmation for the removal. He or she can be removed as a judge. So this is a brief summarization of the appointment and the removal of the Supreme Court justices. Then we go for some of the important judgments delivered by the Supreme Court of USA is concerned. Very famous case, that is the Marbury versus Madison, which is reported in the 18th century. Still it is very famous, in which case the Supreme Court has established the judicial review. So the judicial review is a fundamental to the US Constitution, is a fundamental right to the Constitution of United States of America. Then we have the another important judgment is the Brown versus Board of Education. So in this case, the Supreme Court of USA held that there should not be any kind of racial segregation in the public schools. So public schools are open to all. It not depends upon the skin color. So there anybody can be allowed to join in the public schools. Then we have another important case, Roe versus Wade. In this case, the Supreme Court has given a landmark judgment upon the abortion rights. Till today, it is considered as a major judgment. And also, we have the Mirinda versus Arizona case. So in this case, the Supreme Court has clearly laid down the guidelines of the arrested persons, then how they can be treated and how they can be protected, their rights can be protected. That was mentioned in these cases. So likewise, the Supreme Court of USA is time and again is rendering the remarkable judgments. Then we can go for the total number of cases which it is receiving in a year is concerned. As compared to India, it is very, very less. Why? Because it has a discretionary power. That means that only matters pertaining to US Constitution and disputes between the one state to other states and disputes between the one state citizen to other state citizen will be entertained in the US Supreme Court. And it is a discretionary on the part of the judges to accept or to reject it. So, per annum, it may receiving around 5,000 cases, but it may call it as a petitions, but all petitions are not entertainable by the US Supreme Court. Only few petitions will be entertainable, and averagely we can say that if we go to the 2025 and 26 running year, and before to that also data shows that only the Supreme Court is giving the judgments upon 80 to 100 cases per annum, not more than that. And one more important aspect is that all judges will sit, 9 judges will sit and they decide the matter. So that be full bench matter. So that is another important distinguishing feature of the Supreme Court of USA is concerned. And in addition to this, if you go to the budgetary allocations are concerned, the US Supreme Court is receiving the budget around $160 million US dollars, and in 2025 and 2026 it has expecting $174.5 million. So there is a slight enhancement of the budget because of the cyber security. Cyber threat is languishing everywhere, including the judicial system in the USA. So that is the reason they wanted to strengthen their cyber network. So they sought for the higher budget. Then total budget of the American judicial system is concerned, it is a $8.6 billion. But the Supreme Court of USA is receiving only a meager amount, not much amount. So this is some of the important aspects of the Supreme Court of USA. So basically, the Supreme Court of USA deals with the matters pertaining to the US constitutions and matters in between the states, matters in between the one state citizen to the other state citizens, and it has the protect the fundamental rights and civil rights. But if you go to the Indian scenario, it is quite differs. Here in India, the judges are appointed by a separate system called collegial system, but here in the USA, they are the political appointees. Whichever party is there, then vacancy arises, then such party officials will be, officials in the sense legal persons be appointed as the judges to the that high offices. So if you want more information regarding the US Supreme Court, you go to the Supreme Court website, and also other online websites are there. You can get in-depth information regarding the US Supreme Court. I am only dealing with the peripheral aspects of the US Supreme Court only. So once again, I request all of you to subscribe my channel, and if you feel that my lectures are good enough and informative enough, please pass over to your communities. Thank you and all.